that was quick. Went right ahead.
Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Moderation tools.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizens with members of the community. Today is March 10th, 2022. How are you doing, Griffin?
I'm doing good. How about you?
This is different.
Yeah, we're in a new place, right?
Yeah, new place. Yeah, same time, new place. Yeah.
Yeah, different space. Hopefully, folks will migrate over here. I know some people probably still went to Twitch because they completely forgot.
Yeah. Nothing open in Soul Citizens on Twitch yet. I have the channel open, so yeah. And hopefully they'll make their way over, like you say. How's your week been?
It's been good. Busy, but it's been good.
You do anything?
Anything special this week? I don't even know. This week's been a blur, to be honest with you. I haven't been gaming much. I've been doing Mortal Online 2 as usual, a little bit of Star Citizen. Yeah, I can't think of anything in particular, anything special about this past week. How about you?
Had a snafu in the bathroom today, but hopefully, but I got it fixed. But I got to get a new bath rug. But other than that, but
okay.
I did start the current season of The Expanse. I'm in the middle of it. So
oh, you're in that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all new content that I haven't read, but I have read this part in the books. So I haven't read the last book. But I read the book before that, so that's what this season is based on. It's an interesting mix of originality and taking directly from the books, so it's keeping me on my toes, so to speak.
Very cool. By the way, let's say some shout outs to some people who are here because this is their first time here. Chris Colbert, one of the things that's going to be tough, FC, is that we're so used to people's Twitch names. Yeah. So I'm not going to know who you are as far as your Twitch name, but Chris, thanks for making it over here to YouTube today.
And we're both Soul Citizens, so I'm putting mine like an FC before what I type, so it'll differentiate between us. Yeah.
But I know we saw Fist here. Fist was here, and Chris is here. Whoever else is here, give us a shout out so we'll know that you guys are here. That'd be really
give
cool.
Us a shout out. So what
Cece. Okay, creator. Okay.
Oh, okay, Cece. What have you been watching?
I told you I haven't been watching anything.
You haven't watched anything? Oh, really?
I told you it's been a slow week. I've been busy doing other stuff, working, so I haven't had time to watch very much of anything.
Okay, but you haven't been playing Mortal Online, or you haven't?
That's been about it. That and a little bit of Star Citizen, and that's about it.
You haven't tried Elden Ring?
No interest right now. I went through the whole Dark Souls period and Demon Souls period, so I'll get to it eventually.
I don't imagine you as a Dark Souls type. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. But Mortal Online is truly dominating my time. It's a very consuming game. And I'm a little nervous about even doing it because of Star Citizen, because you have to really spend time in it. And Elden Ring, I wouldn't even want to try to begin to get into that, and Mortal. Not at the same time. They're both of the same genre too, to a certain degree. So I don't usually do that because I kind of mix my games up a little bit more. So.
Oh, we got some more people coming. We got Molman, Jade, Dark Knight, and Shimpa.
Yeah, Shimpasta. Yeah, hey, Shimpasta. Good to see you. Thanks, you guys made it over. We appreciate it. I know it was a little transition, but thanks for making it over here with us.
You ready for me to do my thing?
Yeah, let's let you do your thing, and then I'll bring some folks in. Let's see what you got.
Well, I just got to warn you that this is a challenge issue to me, so you got two people to blame for this, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you guys who those two people are after when I'm done.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Straight out of Louisville, a crazy comedic legend named Fast Card, from the game called Soul Citizen Take Heart, Better Panic, built by Hurricane Dynamic, is the seat of Powerwood. They look in the shadow of Central Towerwood. Never Worn and Ready Up, Bag Hot by Geisen Incorporated. Forget what y'all saw in IE West 2948. You boy, hey, if you mess with me, you is gonna have to come and get me. Looking for the one they call SC, but here's a flash that never sees me. The city is close to political biome. I'm headed to a spaceport in the New Deal showroom. I'm not a charlatan. I got a measurement. I'm making jokes and rhyme like an artisan. Straight out of Louisville.
Okay. I definitely know what that one is. At least that one was in my my range of music. So, yeah. Oh God. I know who to blame for this. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you can just see it in Twitch and chat.
All right. All I'm going to say is you all see the monster that you created, right? This is this is the monster you guys created, and I warned you ahead of time.
Thank you, Mo, man. Thank you. At least someone appreciates it.
Goodness. I didn't think you was going to do it, dude.
Hey, it was a challenge. Yes, it is.
Hey, listen, don't be challenging him to do nothing on this show. Y'all put him on y'all Discord and challenge him to do stuff.
Okay.
That is too funny. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. Does anybody else know it? Does anybody else know what it is before we answer?
Straight out of
Compton. Yeah. Jay
Nope.
got it. Yep.
Nope.
Oh, it's not?
Nope. Straight out of Locast from CB4.
Straight out of Lowcast, CB4.
Oh, CB4. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, we got all these people up top. I didn't even see these people up here. Hang on a second. This new screen thing is throwing me off with YouTube. Hold on.
No problem.
And I don't think Nihilus is coming down. He usually just hangs out.
Definitely knew it was CB4.
Okay, DK, sorry I didn't see you guys up there, man. My screen was in the wrong position. And he doesn't usually come down. He usually just hangs out up there. So
It's all right. We're here.
Cool.
Well, welcome, everybody. Thanks for transitioning over to YouTube with us tonight, guys. We appreciate you guys being here.
I'm sorry, because I'm gonna say it straight up. Because the next movie we gonna watch is Pootie Tang, and I know he's gonna do something.
Oh, I just watched that the other week.
Oh God! Oh God!
He's never seen it before. He's never seen it before.
I'm gonna set up.
It.
Look, you see before you watch him. You got to set up electrical shock in his chair. Every time he says side-eye tape, you got to hit the button.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Every time.
Let me give some shout outs to some other folks that are here. Big Black Gaming made it tonight. Thank you for being here. DK, you're in the room with us. Spitfire, you're in the room with us. Thank you guys for making it over to YouTube. This is our first night here, and we appreciate you guys transferring over with us and hanging out with us tonight.
Oh, y'all could tell I was gonna do something because I had this hat on sideways again.
I was gonna say something about that hat.
I was literally talking about that just now.
All right, so let's go up to the sneak peek and see what y'all think. So here we go. It's time to shock the world. That's what the sneak peek is this week. What do y'all think? Any thoughts?
It could be.
I'm gonna guess it's something to do with Pyro.
No, there you go.
No.
Well,
what would make you think that?
I don't know. Something about it. It's pink graffiti.
Here's my idea. Now, you see that guy sitting on something like really odd in the corner, and somebody down there with something electrical. Now, this could be one of those stunts where they have somebody sit on an airbag and then light the airbag off and flies 5 foot in the air.
Oh my
No,
God!
okay, I see what you're talking about. I was like, what? Okay.
So back when I was a bunch of years ago, we had those standing electric radiators, and I think what he's working on is a radiator on its side with the feet on the left. And I know we're going to watch a video today, and I actually think I saw something similar. So hopefully that will prove my point. And anyways, but I think this is potentially us being able to hook up electrical devices to some type of generators to power devices for stagnant use or whatnot.
Okay. Cool. I'm trying to send a message real quick. You got any thoughts, Griffin? Oh, Griffin had to step away. I just saw him. So yeah, it's time to shock the world. Does anyone know what song that's from, or it's from a song?
Is it?
No. Trying to think about it.
Yeah. Then how about anyone Twitch chat? Anyone recognize it's time to shock the world, or just a saying?
Citizen Shenanigans says portable generators.
They're making me.
Oh, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
There's a Maxwell song that has that in there, but I don't think that's what it is from.
They wouldn't know Maxwell.
That's why I don't think that's what it is.
They'd be like,
What do you think it is?
Someone shocked the world.
Static Shock by Lil Rose.
Gomac can sing, but I'm
It's
not
from
allowed
Static
to.
Shock by Lil Rose.
Oh, okay.
Static
Static
Shock?
Okay.
Yeah,
Static
Shock the
Shock?
World.
Because I can
Static
sing
Shock
and you
the
can't.
Is that how it is? Oh, but can I rap?
He can
No
rap.
comment. Okay.
We'll give you some MC. We'll give you some MC cred for some of the stuff you did. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. So up next we have the Squadron 42 update. So here we go, the monthly report. I didn't really get a chance to take a look at this. I saw a little bit. I skimmed it basically. But basically they go over everything that is updated in the Squadron 42, and I didn't see anything caught my eye because, they try to keep it, spoiler free. But, they make an update. Here's an art character continue to focus on Navy uniform assets. So they're plugging away, trying to make the thing come to life. Anyone else had a take a chance to look at it?
I'm just kind of flipping
I
through it now. I
skimmed
didn't
it,
even notice
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I wish they could just show like a picture now and then of what they're talking about to kind of give us an idea.
Hey.
They can't really do that for Squadron 42, but the ISC and everything, the sprint reports are probably coming in with some of the sprint reports are about.
Yeah, but I see like the ISC as like being like PU,
I think
coming into
PU
the PU
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, everything that's done in Squadron 42 eventually comes over
I
to.
would-
Exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say that because I noticed some things in here regarding the engine in Gen 12 and some of the graphics and effects that they're going to be working on that are also going to tie into the PU. I'm assuming that maybe even some of this narrative will end up transitioning into lore that could move on from when you finish Squadron 42 and move into the PU.
I don't
Seems
mind
to be
reading
just
it.
a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I don't
there's
mind
a lot
reading
of
it,
stuff here.
but I just, I like the. You remember you used to open up a book and the pictures would pop up, and you get
Oh, I
to
love
kinda
pop-up books.
slide. You get to slide
they
things
stop
up.
making
Ooh,
those?
look at that, and you get to slide
Nah, they
stuff
still probably
around. You
making
look up,
those.
the trees just change color.
Those were the best books ever.
I can't. I bought a couple pop-up books for my daughter, and she just ripped whatever popped up off the page. I was like,
Sounds like somebody else I know.
"No, Destructor!" Like I can't even.
Go Mal, your daughter is more gangster than I am. That's not saying much though.
Well, my daughter's more gangster than a lot of people, and she's 2.
Yeah, that was the
Oh, she's OG. Damn.
Yeah.
Toya Gomab daughter.
I know it goes into like better AI movement and stuff like that. So it'll be really good to see that come into play because again they're going to use it for the PU. So anything they can do to assist in AI movement and shooting and stuff like that is pretty good.
Okay, cool. All right, so up next we have. Oh, do you have any thoughts, Griffin?
Nope,
No?
I'm all
Okay.
good.
So up next we have the Obi-Wan teaser. I have not watched this yet. This is going to be my first watch playthrough or watch through. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's give it a look.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
That was pretty good. Oops. Yep, that was pretty good. So we're back. Yeah, let's go to free fall. Anybody have any thoughts?
I can't wait. I can't wait. Y'all done got me into this. Just listening to the conversations. Colossal, Melvillous, and Nihilus.
You not watch Star Wars?
What was that?
Have you not watched Star Wars? Just
No, it's not that I haven't watched it. It's just a different perspective of Star Wars.
Yeah, we've been talking more about the books and stuff and filling him in with the stuff that's outside of the movies, more of the lore. So he's learning more about the other stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I started Path of Destruction today. Yeah, so it's a good read so far.
Path of Destruction? Who wrote that?
I'm not sure, but I forget the author, but I know it's about I forget his. I know it's Cad Bane, or I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name.
No, that's right.
Yeah, Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm noticing it's the one of the stars is from Star Trek Discovery, the pilot.
Oh yeah. Wajinaku or something. I can't pronounce her name in the Discovery, but I know who. Yeah, her.
And what were you gonna say?
So here's what I was going to say. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love it. This is great. I'm glad that we're continuing the Skywalker saga. Can we please stop with the Skywalker saga and move on? I mean, Star Wars is a universe. There's a whole lot of stuff going on besides Skywalker. And I'm glad that at least like in The Mandalorian, they're trying to pull themselves away from the Skywalker story, even though Ashoka Tano is in there. But she's also Ashoka. She's also starting her own story outside of Anakin Skywalker, which is great.
Yeah, but did they though? Because I mean, people cried when Luke showed up in the end of the Mandalorian.
I know they did.
I didn't know.
People cried. People bursted out in tears.
But here's the thing, we're getting to a point now we have to CGI Luke Skywalker as a young person and fit in a body double who gets almost zero credit. Why don't they just recast Skywalker?
Yeah,
can I give you an alternative? Can I give you
Sebastian Shaw? Go ahead.
I just want to give an alternative thought about it. The thing I agree with DK because the universe is big. There are all types of other stories they could go into. Colossal is always big on the fact that they have not been daring enough to go and deal with the Sith or deal with the darker side of the Force. And so if they went back to Darth Plagueis or things like that, my fear though, DK, is that Disney has not been honoring the lore very well. And if they start coming up with stuff versus going to stuff that is already existing, I'm not talking about the Skywalker part, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about all the novels and all the stuff that's out there. When they did the last two movies, Disney rejected taking assistance from the Lucasfilm lore team. They literally turned it down, right? Man. And so what I do like is the fact that at least with the way they've been doing with The Mandalorian and with Boba Fett is that they've been tying in what we watched in Rebels, what we watched in, the Clone Wars and the movies. That's the one thing that I do like that's happening here. So here you see the Inquisitors, which we know there's lore about. We saw them in Rebels, but now we're seeing them in live action. It's kind of like how Rogue One was. You know what I mean? It kind of fit that gap in between.
That was such a great movie.
Right.
At least from the trailer.
That's one of the best Star Wars movies in my
Right,
point.
and we were familiar with the characters. Even the fact that they went back and got Uncle Owen here from the movies, right? I mean, he's back in here. At least they're doing that. You know what I mean? I'm just so scared. But I agree with you. There's so much great stuff out there. But man, I hope if Disney does that, man, they respect the lore, and they have a tendency to not do that when it's something new. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the fact that Favreau and what's his face running stuff, dude, it'd be too scary to see what we're getting in Filoni. Yeah.
So with Favreau, he's.
What were you saying, Gomar? No, they work on. I'm just saying they've been tying all these loose ends together because they're the ones who did Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. And then you're seeing the stuff in Mandalorian. They're tying the knots up a lot better than if they just let any old Ryan Johnson or somebody come in and do stuff that their own personal vision that's outside of stuff that's already the groundwork's been laid for already. You know.
My bad. Go, Matt. What were you going to say?
No. Favreau. One of his things is he is a huge just Star Wars nerd nut, like a fan, just like many of us. So he has done a great job of connecting the projects so that they're not, just so disjointed and have people scratching their head like, who is this Jar Jar guy?
But Mob, guess who else was a great Star Wars fan? Who did them 3 prequels? I mean, those three end films.
Oh yeah, talking about J.J. Abrams. Well,
Abrams.
Yeah, but Abrams not. See, Abrams is a filmmaker before he's a Star Wars guy. Like Favreau, anything he's going to do, he's going to be true to it, right?
I get it. I agree with you. I'm just saying, but look they titled him the same thing, and you see what we got.
I think he's more of a fan of himself than he was of Star Wars. and of the stories that he could tell, right?
Yeah.
Favreau comes off to me as somebody who's like, no, I want to tell the stories that that are there about these characters that are already established. I'm not trying to make something new out of something old.
Right.
Because it's old is good enough.
Colossal's already naming all the Sith I know in the world in the chat now. Good night. She never mentioned it.
Speaking of the Sith, one of those.
I looked up because I was curious. The director is supposed to be Deborah Chow. I don't know if she did all 6 episodes, but she's listed as director. So she's done some Mandalorian. She also did American Gods and Mr. Robot. So that'll be interesting.
Well, it's not about the director. It's about the producers and the showrunners. Those are the ones that. Those are the ones
Kennedy,
that make,
right? That's her name.
Yeah. Yes, I think she's Favreau and Kennedy. She's the bad one.
Yeah, she's the one with the nail in the hammer. She's like, just chopping away at the coffin there.
Yeah, she's the bad one. She's the one that Favreau and them have had to go to war against, and Favreau won. So he's getting his way. She's the reason why all the rest of them that everybody was mad about, they sucked, because she was like, "Nah, screw that. We're going to do something different. Screw the lore team."
And enters the Sith.
Yeah. Speaking of the Sith, one of them looks like Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy was a Sith.
Wow, this Star Wars talk is awesome.
This is supposed to be the Star Wars show. We just wanted to kind of whet the appetite.
We're coming up on a half hour. I'm just saying.
Hello, everybody.
Good point, Jay. Good point. Good point.
Gigi told me to rein y'all in, so
yeah. Hello, everybody. Please tune in to the new Tuesday. So Star Wars talk with
Star Wars talk, right?
On Soul Citizens at 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. All right. So let's move on. So next up, we do have the ISC. So yeah, we got about 4 minutes. So I'm gonna split it into 2 sections like normal, and then we're going order. So here we go.
With the game as it is right now, loading cargo is a very simplistic mechanic. You go to a terminal, you click buy, bam, it pops up on your ship. But that is changing in the near future, where it is going to become an actual physical loading process. So having externally mounted cargo with the hull series will be a big benefit for players. The MISC hull series is a lineup of ships purely designed to carry cargo from point A to B. And the lineup consists of 5 ships, the Hull A being the smallest and the Hull E being the largest. As you progress up the sizes, you move into larger quantities, going longer distances. And then you use the smaller ships in the series to do the short range of long distance cargo hauling. The Hull A is the entry into both the Hull series and the sort of dedicated cargo hauling profession. It is designed for getting cargo on and off the ship as quick as possible. So all the cargo is external. It is the best size to amount of cargo ship in the game for new players wanting to get into it. And it is really a one-person, you and your cargo ship. It has flexibility that some of the larger hull series ships don't have, such as the fact it can be fully loaded and land planet side or in hangars or in pads with all that cargo. We've got everything on board for you to live out in the verse and deliver your cargo. You have a very traditional MISC cockpit layout. You have a big dashboard surrounding you with all your buttons, switches and controls. Not quite as restrictive view as the Freelancer, but it is very much styled in the same influence as a lot of the MISC ships. Moving back, you then have the hybrid component airlock room, where the bulk of the components are, as well as the entry into the ship, which is a side ladder. When that door opens for access from the ground in both EVA, that room is sealed so it doesn't vent to anyone in the bridge or anyone in the living quarters, which is the room immediately behind that. There you have your bed, you have your basic food making facilities, and then at the very rear of the ship you have a small bathroom area which has the classic toilet shower combo and sink. The Hull A is releasing before the cargo refractor comes out, so it's still going to function as a cargo ship, but a lot of its benefits will be unlocked over time as the cargo refractor comes in and is iterated upon, and it will just get a much stronger and stronger choice of cargo ship. People have been wanting the whole series in-game for a long time, and with the release of the A, that's a reality now. It's been great to get this out there, and it's helped us prove out some of the issues that have prevented the Hull C from coming out. Looking forward to seeing everyone playing with the Hull A and getting ready for the Hull C.
The Hull A is making its small but impactful debut in the upcoming Alpha 3.17, and will continue to grow into its intended role in the persisting universe as the cargo refactor comes online and continues to iterate in subsequent patches. And up next, it's time for a special...
Alright, so we're back. So let's go in order. Hopefully I got all the... Yeah, I got it. Okay, so Abercrombie, what are your thoughts?
I love it. I think it looks great. I think the mechanics look fantastic. I think my Prospector needs a complete rework inside because it doesn't look near as good as that in the backside with the bed and all that. It certainly doesn't have a kitchen, and I mean this is a single person ship. I need a kitchen. So yeah, I think it looks fantastic, and I know people have an issue with having to having to move the boxes themselves in the future with the cargo refactor. But I think when we have if we're able to use tractor beams, whether the little tiny hand ones or the two-handed tractor beams in the future, if that's what we're going to need to load this up, then I think that'll be fine too. I just can't wait for it. Really, I think I turned my Hull A into a B, and now I'm kind of debating if I want to quickly buy another hover quad and buy another A. Simply, I mean, it's kind of like we were just talking about this recently. Trying to find people in the game to do stuff with. You're trying to for that group play, but this is like a ship that's specifically for one person to go out and to get kind of the to do as much as you can with this one ship. I think this is like for one person stuff. This is fantastic. It really is, and I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, this shot here looks the interior looks it looks great.
So just a clarification, you mean you turned your hover quad, LCI hover quad, you want to turn that into a holoid, that what you meant?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so if I bought a few for like if I wanted to, I bought like 2 extra in case I wanted to turn it into a Vulcan, or like a bigger ship. But this wasn't really on my radar, and I kind of think maybe it should be.
For me, I think the holoid is going to be so cheap in game that you just might as well get it in game, even with the lower insurance. Cause yeah, that's my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I think with the Prospector now is like 2 million UEC, and the Prospector I think is who wants to help me with that? Is it like 125 or something like that?
120, I believe.
So 120. So this is probably going to be like 1.5 million or something like that, maybe 1.75. It just depends if you want to wait that much time,
Yeah, that's true. And if you want to support the project, yeah, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it'll probably be cheap. That's what I would do. I would get the holoid in game. All right. Thanks a lot. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I was kind of paying attention to ISC today that it is really the only single player focused cargo vessel that we have. Like focused cargo vessel, because we have the Nomad, but the Nomad's not a cargo vessel. It's just a truck, basically. But this is what, 64 SCU, I think?
Something like that.
94,
something like that.
I thought, something like that.
Okay. So and I would imagine that, loading that Admiral would probably be tractor beams to SCU boxes on the side, because it looks like there's 16 on each one of those pylons, and then maybe I don't know if there's any interior, but yeah, I imagine that would probably be tractor beams. But I mean, it's pretty cool to see this, a small solo cargo ship, specifically cargo. Even a raft is a 2-person ship, so this is really cool. I'm glad it's coming along, and yeah, it's pretty much reminds me of the Prospector. I imagine the same Prospector price, or at least something near to it. It'll be very versatile for the single player out there to just run cargo back and forth. You don't have to rely on larger multi-crewed ships now. You can actually have one for your own. Those day-to-day runs from the station down to a planet or something. It'd be good work there. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see it in game.
So you're getting it in game, you're not going to get one?
I'm probably not going to get one anyway, but I'll fly it in game.
Okay.
If it's rentable, I'll rent it. If I want to buy it, I'll save it for it. But I don't necessarily have a need for it. But I think it's great to see. And maybe they can turn this into a starter package. That would be really cool. I doubt it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think so.
It would be cool if they make a package out of it, a game package like they did with, say, the Cuddy or the
Freelancer.
Yeah.
When it becomes flyable, it may be like that, but I don't think it'll stay in the RSI store. That's my guess.
Yeah. You think so? You think they'll make it limited?
I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, thanks. Face to face, what are your thoughts?
Oh, sorry. I'm back. Okay. My thought, man, they sure know make the CIG sure knows how to make Holland look beautiful. I mean, when you look at it, I was like, when I first saw the halls, I'm more of a person who, when it comes to things in game, I guess you could say more practical. I'm not really like a flashy person, because I'm more like, okay, what does it do? What does this thing do? And is it going to be valuable to me? Flash is kind of like secondary, but man, they sure know how to make this thing look good. So you could ride around and make money in style.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Nomad, what are your thoughts?
It's a starter ship. It's a nice starter ship. I really like what they've done with it. It is a very appealing ship, but it's still a starter ship. I want everybody to realize that it is a entry. Dip your toe in to the cargo running stuff. Nobody's going to get insanely rich. I mean, I'm sorry, there will be that one guy that'll be like, "Look, I made $10 million
Yeah,
running
challenge
cargo in a
accepted.
whole
Hold my
A
beer.
for
There's gonna be that one person.
for 8 days straight without sleeping." But no, it's entry. It's testing out the technology, but they did do an amazing job on the design of it, the layout, the articulation. If that's how it's going to be, they did a great job, and that makes me really excited for the true money making versions of the whole series. So,
All right, Jade, what are your thoughts?
Like Nomad said, it's a starter ship. Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
Right. It's a starter ship. I do agree that it should be in a starter pack. It's like the cargo. Well, it's the hauling equivalent of the Prospector.
just say freight.
Freight. Yeah, freight.
Mhm.
Yeah, long haul freight. Yeah. So yeah, I think they did an excellent job on the interior and the exterior. I kind of wish that they would have that sort of color scheme for the freelancer. I think it would be a little bit more appealing to some people. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Jared always says, like if you have a ship that hasn't been made yet, consider yourself lucky, because the longer they take to make these ships, the better the ship you get seems to be. And these, this looks a lot better than like the Prospector inside. Like Admiral said, it looks better than the Freelancer. So I think they did a great job on it. That's
All right,
all.
cool. Pops, what do you thought?
Oh, that chrome, the chrome. It looks good. And we talked about the this being the beginning of cargo hauling and how expandable it's going to be. You're going to go from like a bike messenger to all the way up to a FedEx, UPS type of thing, and I'm really looking forward.
No, more like an 18-wheeler hauler.
Yeah,
Or like Maersk.
So,
Cargo ships. Yeah.
That's a whole lead right there.
So, we talked about earlier about the, when it lands, if it's closed and you get your cargo, whether or not it's going to slide open and all that. So, it's cool. It's exciting. Cargo is definitely on its way.
All right, cool. Spitfire.
What? No, he can go.
Okay. Spitfire.
I'd just like to start out saying that this ship is a banana. It's very appealing.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Okay.
That is one of my
All right, folks, that's it for me tonight. Y'all have a good one.
All right. I'm giving you the look right now, but okay. Anything else?
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited for the whole series. Am I going to get the A? Probably not, because I have a B. So I'm waiting on the B to come in, and it's going to be my cargo ship when this all goes around. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they are going to do with this series.
Yeah, I have a B also. That's my only hull. No C, D, or anything else. Just to be, because it carries a lot more, but it's not too big. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thought is, because of everything they showed here in this episode, I'm looking forward to the Endeavor for when they get that finally in. Because this looks amazing. So I can only imagine. I can't even imagine what the Endeavor will look like when it comes out. How about you?
Only going to get better, Fast Cart.
Yeah,
it will be the best looking ship in the game when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the nature of the development gets, like I said, they get better with every ship they make. So, and it's going to be the last one that comes out before release.
No, they might as well make the Starliner last one, because that's going to be the most beautiful ship.
Now, what's crazy to me is like, so we have like the Nomad. The Nomad, you don't see a lot of it, and you don't really see the cargoes in the back end of that. That's you can fill up with cargo if you want. So it's kind of difficult to visually see that. But this is really, I see this as like the only cargo vessel where we could visually see what someone is carrying or not carrying, and like all the other ships you have to scan. So this is like this makes the universe feel so lived in. You're like, oh wow, that person's carrying diamonds, or it's just like wow. I think this is going to help so much to make it feel just so much like grander.
Well, the
So-
raft is going to be like that as well. It was the first ship actually in the game
that's true, yeah. But I think this one will be up there.
If I can,
Go on.
go ahead.
I was just going to make a quick joke saying I'd like to see my Halays hauling nothing but Zeta Prelinide. Thank you.
Mhm.
I don't know what that.
Okay.
If I can,
Explosive material. Explosive material.
if I can say,
Pops,
Griff
what are you
took
gonna
us.
say?
No, I was going to
Yeah.
say Griff took us down ship memory lane, and it's true. CIG has come such a long way. They sure know how to build ships, and they are getting better and better and better. And it's
Yep.
right. And the last ships to come out are going to really be something, because they're just getting phenomenal at making
And
ships.
piggyback off of that, what you just said, though, Pops, because they sure know how to tap into your wallet as well.
You're not lying.
Dips is how they make money.
Yeah.
Get you in the fields.
That and LTI tokens. And Cuddy Steel. No, I'm kidding. One thing I do want to say before we move on is that you remember how I was saying how the whole E spindle is going to take a long time to retract? I figured out why we were having a disconnect here. It was partly my fault because I said spindle, but when I said spindled, I meant the whole thing retracting, like not just collapsing, but I mean collapsing all the way in.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think that'll take.
That makes
take a
sense.
while.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say before you move on, because I want to throw my 2 cents in, because I got to step away for a minute. I do think that they've been a couple things. The old numbers on these ships, and you guys know this already, the Hull series ships move up exponentially in size. The numbers, I don't know if these are the current numbers or not, but the numbers on the site are 48 SCU for the Hull A. The Hull B goes to 384 SCU. That's how much of a big of a jump there is between those two
Wow,
ships.
really?
And they all go like that. The numbers are exponentially bigger when you move up in them, because I think the Hull E is something like 96,000. It's a ridiculous number, something like that.
98,304.
98, okay, 98,000. What I was going to say is that don't dismiss, and I'm not saying you all, I'm saying this in general, don't dismiss the Hull A. It is a starter ship. But ships like the Hull A and Hull B, CIG has told us about this issue about where you can take certain ships, wormhole wise, gate wise, even just the particular facilities that you go to. It's great to have a Hull D, but if it doesn't fit someplace, you can't use it. And so you may find that stepping down to a Hull B or a Hull A is much more appropriate. You may find moving a valuable amount of something that is high in value, but small amounts is also big. And a Hull A is less obtrusive, and that draws attention to you as much as when you're taking a bigger ship. So strategically and logistically, there may be reasons why these smaller ships, the Hull A and Hull B, may be much more appropriate, especially going into places or regions where it's very dangerous, where you minimize your risk, or just the fact that maybe you don't have enough people to do security to support you for a C or a D or a E. And it might be worth making 2 trips versus maybe that one risky trip, unless you've got somebody for security and backup and to man the ships themselves. I noticed on the Hull A, I can't tell if those are the individual boxes or whether they are the double boxes or triple boxes, because this SCU boxes go up in size. I think by 32 is the biggest size, so you divide that by 3, whatever that comes out to, 12. But I think that Misk did a great job with reimagining the look of this ship, because that original Hull A looked like a cockroach, not the freaking Aurora. That original one looks like a cockroach. But I think that if they like Jade said, if they carry over this design, obviously to the rework of the Freelancer, which we know is going to get a rework, there's way too many placeholders and everything else in those ships. And if they carry it over to the Starfarer and the Gemini, then these ships are gorgeous. The look of them is really nice, very streamlined. I love the black accents they've done to it, and has much more aerodynamic look to it now. So for those people who have them, enjoy them, because the prices went up. This ship was $60 originally, and now it's, I think, 90. And then the hull B
no,
went
80
from,
for the whole
is it
A.
80? Okay, then the hull B went from 90 to 140 or something like that.
140,
Yeah, so these, and we had said a little while ago to keep an eye on the hulls because they would probably go up, and sure enough, within a few months of us saying that, they did. So those of you who have them.
Yeah, I just want to add that you say that the cargo space, the freight capability goes up exponentially. The cost also goes up exponentially now with the price increase almost, because the whole seat went up $100, and the other, it's kind of up there now. But I was gonna say, if they make a starter package for the whole A, it'll probably be over $100. So now I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they do say that it's intended to be a starter for the career, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily for gameplay. So people who want to get into that. So I think freight's going to be a little bit different than cargo. I know we try to distinguish that sometimes. I know sometimes we use them together, but I think there's
you
going to
mean
be a
trade?
different aspect.
No. Trading and cargo.
No. I mean freight and cargo, literally. Freight is usually much more massive in its size, where cargo is usually like you said, individual boxes. This isn't designed to do individual boxes. You know what I mean? You're doing large SCU counts on these ships, even though I guess you can mix and match them, I guess.
I mean, semantics aside, we got cargo ships that are cargo.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying freight kind of has a much more industrial feel to it, versus when we do cargo. Cargo could be one box, it could be 500 boxes, right? But I'm saying, based upon the way the whole series are designed with the large containers, you have to take big amounts. There is no taking 2 containers on a hull. And I guess that's my only distinction between the two. But you're right. I mean, the words can go back and forth, like I said. Yep.
One thing I was going to say real quick, Big Black Game, you were saying with escorts, I don't know if anybody's going to be making enough money in a whole A to hire escort.
Not for that ship. Yeah, you probably you wouldn't even care about it, probably. Yeah.
I mean, you barely you got less profit than a freelancer, honestly. So it's like that's for, a big valuable cargo, but you wouldn't really be carrying enough for an escort. I think
it's a freelancer with splines.
Exactly.
It would be like carrying a whole bunch of blueprints in EVE Online in a shuttle. It can fit in a shuttle because it has space, but you don't want to carry it, and you don't want to do that.
Well, again, one of the issues, this actually solves one of the issues that we have, is like you get these big ships that land at, like you take like a C2, you land at a little location, some moon, and then it sucks up all the inventory, and perhaps like there's only going to be, maybe you can only like land on a landing pad. You can't land on the ground. Maybe they'll say reduce the landing pad size so you can only get smaller ships on there, and that will help with the inventory systems throughout the verse, because you don't need a C2 landing on some place where you're not picking up 72,000 food packages from a place that could probably make like 50 a day or something like that.
If I empty the inventory of an outpost in my C2, that is the person that comes behind me problem.
It just doesn't seem physically like reasonable. I mean, you look at the locations where you have like they're outside, they got like the plants and stuff, and they're all covered and stuff like that. And you pick up some food, and it's just like, well, how the hell is this? How does this place? How long does it take to actually make food here? Like, if that's what their purpose is, doesn't make any sense.
All right. So we're gonna move on from the hull to the rest of the show. So let me cue it up real quick. Go to Jared. Ooh, that's too far. 242. There we go. All right. So here we go.
And up next, it's time for a special locations-based sprint report. So let's get to it. Let's start things off this week with a look at current progress on cloudscaping for Planet Hurston. What you're seeing here are the results of recent explorations in taking the pipeline you've seen demonstrated before completely out of Substance Designer and into Houdini entirely, potentially allowing for an increase in simulation data and better shaping than we had previously. Now at this point, it's still too early to say if these will make it into Alpha 3.17 or require another quarter to bake, as it were, but as with all things Star Citizen, this refinement of existing process will yield better and faster results once it's all properly dialed in and approved. And while we're on Hurston, let's take a quick look around Maria Pure of Heart, the hospital coming to Lorville in the upcoming Alpha 317. Of all the hospitals we've seen so far, this one may be my favorite, combining the severe architecture and attitudes of Hurston with the benevolent purpose and ideology of a hospital is yielding a truly unique visual experience, and I'm here for it. Moving higher up and much farther out, let's check in with some Pyro System, let's call it Spacebox for lack of a better term, development. Now this potential background for all adventures in Pyro is coming along nicely, with pipeline improvements yielding stars in subtly different shapes and hues, and cloud formations designed to hook in and support those you'll actually be flying through. And it all makes for a nice contrast with this planet and its blue atmosphere you can see here. And then down on the planets, when the exposure changes at night or at sunset or whatnot, you can see the hues and forms change appropriately, which is super cool. Beyond that, the team is also creating some large-scale space points of interest in the Pyro system. Things that can act like checkpoints, as it were, before you enter certain gas pockets approaching outlaw stations. Now, like White Box Phase, this is early days, just blocking out shapes. And before anybody freaks out, the Bengal you see here is just to show the proper scale read. As these continue to develop, they'll get things like final geometry and lights to flesh out the experience further, but it's already shaping up to be a dramatically different experience than traveling through the Stanton system. And while we're in Pyro, let's take a look at the Yucca brevifolia, our outer space version of the Joshua Tree. Now, you might be saying to yourself, it's just a tree. Well, yeah, but I thought it looked really cool, so you have to look at it for a bit. It's my show, and I really like the dry bark on the trunk there. And back up in space, the props team is continuing their work building a whole new array of run-down, beat-up, customized and unique items for the Pyro system to help sell a very different experience for life in outlaw space. Just really cool stuff. And I want to shout out Joseph, Lewis, Thomas, Dan, Stefane, Sophie, and the rest of the team for some exceptional work making things not look good? That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. And look at these trash piles. Disgusting. And awesome. And disgusting. Of course, some of these outlaw stations will have run-down space clinks aboard, so the team at Montreal have been beating those up a bit. And I'm going to take this opportunity to remind some folks that not all outlaws are filthy, disgusting slobs. Just the ones that hang around in Pyro. You fancy outlaws out there with your pinkies out while drinking Radagast from a teacup may want to make your homes in another system. Finally, let's take another look at the continuing development of colonialism outposts, including these new liquid storage tanks, some new light fixtures, wells, and new garden modules. You know it's the future because of hexagons. Then, from one outpost type to another look at white box explorations of derelict outposts. Now, like all white box phases, it's an important step in identifying which areas are likely to become traversal nightmares and may want to be adjusted for gameplay reasons before we move on to final art. But overall, these derelict outposts are another opportunity for stories and missions to be told across Pyro's planets and moons. So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the Hull A is ready to make its mark on the persistent universe, that the cloud tech pipeline continues to be refined and updated as we saw in Hurston, and that Pyro continues to shape up to be an experience unlike any currently available in the Stanton system. Now don't forget that Stella Fortuna is just around the corner. Keep an eye out on the RobertSpaceIndustries.com website for details. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
And we're back. So I think we're going to start in the middle and go in reverse order. So I'll start with you, go Map.
No, it was cool, man. You know, it's funny. It's like, yeah, we got some really cool cloud tech going on to Hurston and all that stuff. But yeah, but Pyro. Look at all the Pyro stuff we're doing. We got trash piles in Pyro. We got all this other stuff going on in Pyro. I think they have a theme of what they're really working on and pushing heavily, which I think is important, right? When server meshing comes in and the jump points and all this stuff, you don't want to. They don't want us to jump to a system that looks barren and bare and not developed. Like, we got there and it ain't finished. They want to make sure that when we get there, that it's just as full of content as they hope it to be when we get there, so that it's just not a waste of time for people to go there. So I get it. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that every week after week after week, it's just like Pyro.
Yeah, they were ramping up. Oh, by the way, you're going to push back a little bit because they actually started with Hurston, so straight out of Lorville. No, I'm kidding. Mr. Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, dirty, trash, dirty. I like it. I enjoyed to see what they're doing with Pyro. Now, if I want to see, we talk so much about trash, I want to see, is it physical? Does it have physics to it? Because if it's just a pile of trash and it just sits there, then that's cool. But I want it to be able to move and have persistence.
You want to be the trash man?
You want to be trash? You know what? That actually, Hey, listen, a trash man is valuable.
It's a respectable job.
It's a very respectable job. You might be able to eavesdrop on a lot of conversations. Spies. See, see.
I was talking to Dig that earlier today, and I think I had a good idea for a good new NPC. For there to be like a janitor NPC walking around picking up all the gowns and stuff that people are dropping when they spawn. He just walk around. Yeah. He's whistling. He's pushing his little trash cart.
Oh, you know what? It'd be funny if you like drop a cup and right in front of him out of disrespect. Yeah, and he starts
throws the cup right back at you.
And he's fighting. It's on now.
But his trash cart should be named. It shouldn't be named a trash cart. It should be named a fast cart.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, didn't you?
I knew it was coming.
Jab, right? But I'm very impressed with the cloud tech. Everything that they're doing. Appreciate it, CIG. Keep going.
All right. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I echo that. Appreciate that, CIG. I was going to say Maria Pure Heart looks pretty cool. Big Black, you were saying it definitely has that Hurston style. It feels like that she's trying to give back. Is that because they named it after Maria Hurston? Is that who it was, or somebody along those names? And that she would just try to give back, quote unquote, I guess, by building that hospital. So yeah, it totally fits their style. Kind of cool to see.
That's a red herring. I really think that's a red herring. I think Maria or whoever is named after is going to be the worst of the Hurstons, and she's just doing that just to flex to
that's
the
it.
other siblings.
Yep, that's it. That's exactly it. But the outpost, like you're seeing here, the outpost is pretty cool. I want a garden, for things, and that's pretty cool. But Pyro, when they were saying, Jared had mentioned on the road to Pyro, That's what on the road Pyro means. We're really working hard towards finishing and completing Pyro. It means we're putting more effort into it. We're putting more development time into it, more resources into it, so that we can work towards getting Pyro finished. So that when, like Gomob said, when it's ready, we can jump in there and it's, say 90% finished without, aside from gameplay stuff. But they're working towards it. They're doing stations. They're doing, cloud tech and stuff like that. That's, going on Hurston, but it's also going to move over to Pyro and all that other kind of stuff. And we got trash piles. And that's the first thing I'm going to do when we get the Pyro is I'm going to go to a station. I'm going to look at the trash because Jarrett said it was cool. And I want to see what's in there.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
But that's it. That's what I got. It looks pretty darn cool. I'm excited to see the continuation of this road to Pyro and see what else are they going to keep on working on. Because like you said, Gomop, every week it's going to be more Pyro. That's because they're working on it. It means they're putting it towards, they're trying to get it out to us. At least they're trying. Whether or not it happens this year or not, we'll see.
Isn't Pyro being worked on by the new team in Canada?
Turbulent. Mm-hmm.
Turbulent?
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that they're pumping stuff out, right? And so if they need content for this show, they're like, Turbulent, what you got? They're like, hey man, this is what we made trash. We made some Art Deco lights. You know what I'm saying? We did some hab stuff. We made this tree. You want this tree?
Can I ask a question real quick before we move on? Can I ask a question real quick? Okay, so back to the hospital, right? What was that hospital for? Because it damn sure don't look for like it's for the working class people.
It's for the
working
class
It is. It's for us.
It's the giving back.
No, I'm saying like when you look at the vibes of it, like, right? When you look at the vibes of Hurston and you walk around like around Maria Hearts, it is ghetto. It is like impoverished. So when you go into the hospital, it's like it's gold trimming and stuff like.
This is one of those times we're going to tell you. This is going to tell you about the lore.
They want their employees to get healthy quickly so they can go back to work.
Yep.
Right. So if it was just all ghetto, like they have lifetime contracts with Hurston. Mm-hmm. So if they're just sitting in a bed because they're not healing, that's costing Hurston money. So they of course want to get them back. That's my theory anyway.
And it makes them look good because it's pretty. We gave something to you. Now go back to work.
Pretty much. Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. It was the shortest amount of video with the greatest amount of stuff. From Lowville Hospital, which I think hospitals in real life should take some of it.
Real quick, I got to interrupt. Nyla, thank you for becoming a soulmate. We appreciate you. Thank you. That's like the YouTube version of a subscription. So appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, continue, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I just thought it looked fantastic. It's like between Microtech and there, that's what I want my surgeries to be at. So it's just, I think the aesthetics of it look fantastic. The pyro system, the cloud tech, that's going to be everywhere, no matter if it's like you're on a planet or a moon, and it's like whether it's dawn or dusk, like that, you're gonna see that like beyond the atmosphere in a certain way. I think that's gonna be crazy looking. I was a little surprised that there were a couple elements that seemed to be in gray box still. So maybe they're not as further along as we all thought, because we all thought it's kind of like waiting on server meshing. So but certainly there's a lot in this system, so it's everything's coming along. And the liquid storage tanks and the wells are just like additional mechanical locations and requirements that we were all kind of thought about. Will these now posts need water? Can a staff area deliver water? What type of capabilities is are we going to be able to have there to expand upon that vehicle or other vehicles like it? And then farming. I took the planning as like kind of like the implementation of of farming. Really, it's their whole. I take this little thing that they showed us right here as being how they're going to develop a large portion of the other systems, because you've got it's just a lot of different technology that they're creating here, and they're just going to be able to expand upon. So yeah, I thought this was one of the best episodes ever.
Very cool. Spitfire, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna start out with the Pyro space stations. They look like trash, and that's a good thing.
I get what you did there.
Nice.
Wah, wah, wah.
Also, I love the subtle nod to the best condiment, or one of the best condiments right there, the wonderful disused ketchup bottle over there in the corner. Really excited about that. Can't wait to see what they do there. Love seeing the new HAB units. Or, not HAB units, sorry, the greenhouses. That makes me really excited.
Oh yeah,
I bet one of our test members, Meerkat, is probably sitting there salivating when he watched this, going, "Oh yes, I cannot wait to grow all the corn." In regards to Lorville Hospital, that place, honestly, I do agree. I can't remember who said it, but that is probably my favorite of the hospitals I've seen. It is just a beautiful place. And clouds are another one I'm really excited about. I'm always about clouds. I loved when they showed the lightning, and I watched the one from February 11th. It was a live, and it was the Planet VFX team, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were saying about hurricanes and stuff like it. Somebody had asked about hurricanes, and we're saying, yeah, we want to do that. Give me hurricanes. Give me a reason to fly stupidly into a hurricane with a Mustang Alpha and just be like, let's see if I live.
Yeah, there are cows flying. I think that's the same cow.
Yeah. No, that's the same.
Before they really go nuts on the hurricanes, they need to put proper weight on ships so that a windstorm doesn't blow a C2 off a pad.
Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah.
Pops, what are your thoughts?
Oh wow, the lightning! One of the things that when I saw the lightning reminded me of Gigi when she said, "We're really nerds when we get excited about clouds." And, yeah, I'm excited about. I'm excited about coming out of quantum, heading down to the planet, seeing the lightning going through the clouds, kind of getting a gauge on what the weather is down there. Let's see, it's so much. Like Admiral said, this is so much in here. I'm not going to remember everything. The light fixtures, the hospital, dark for a hospital, but that's the style, and it's cool. Not everything is white,
bright and shiny.
Sterile white. Pyro, again, I got to keep me a pocket of tetanus shots, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, Jade, what do you think?
All right, so I got a lot because I love these location sprint reports.
Let's hear it, Jade.
So yeah, what I really like about the clouds on Hurston is they didn't just do a copy paste, right? They said that they don't want to just like copy paste the clouds from Microtech onto all the planets and some moons that would have them, right? They want to make each actually fit the planet and the setting, and those look polluted. They look like they fit Hurston. I mean, I'm expecting like acid rain maybe to come out of those when they have rain in the game. So yeah, I like what they're doing. They're staying true to their word. These trees, I like, it doesn't look like something. I mean, they kind of look like cactuses, sort of, but they look unearthly. They don't really look like something you see every day, and I want to see more of that. Like I've said that before. I want to see alien looking things or genetically modified things because it's 1,000 years in the future, and we've been on all these planets. We bring back the things on Earth from other countries, and it would be the same way in space. You'd be bringing back things from other parts of space. So If they can grow, that's great. On Pyros, just looking trashy, perfect for Pyro. I mean, it's run, this Fruin Station. It's run by a bunch of gangs. I don't think they have much time to clean up after themselves. On the flip side of this, and it hasn't been mentioned, but Jared had said, if you think all the places that are, he said outlaw, I'll just say non-UE, because there are places that aren't outlaw, that are outside of the UE, that are human, settlements, right? If you think they're all going to be trashy, they won't. And that was because there's been a concern among some of us, I was one of them, that, you have Grimhex, looks like trash. You had Levski, looks like trash. Pyro looks like trash. Okay. Someplace like Levski, I hope when they redo it, they clean it up, because it's got a functioning government, right? It's not, a bunch of gangs running it like Grimhex or Pyro. A place like Lear 2, Maya, which, is run by the Outsiders. They are a government. So I wouldn't expect, if you go there, it's going to be all trashy. So it's good. I was just looking at the fixtures. I love what they did with those light fixtures. I know it's a small thing, but the props team deserves, like, they look totally different than the other things we have in game. They have a more homey feel, and so that's kind of what I would like to see in, settlements. The derelict settlements, I wouldn't worry too much about them being in white box, because sometimes they show us things that are actually further along at the time they show us, but this video might have been taken previously, and I don't think they would hold up Pyro for these, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. But I'm glad to see that they're progressing. That's all. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, one more thing is a big one. The gates, the checkpoints. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm pretty skeptical about putting a gate or a thing you have to fly through in order to go through 3-dimensional space, right? Like, what's going to happen if you say, I'll go around it, I'll go over it, I'll go under it? Like, is there going to be some kill box, that just makes you blow up, like if you touch water? What's going to happen, right? Because, like,
But Jay,
to me,
there are no up, down, sideways in space.
Relative to your ship, there are, right? So because you're on your ship, you have a gravity generator. So you're standing on the bridge of your ship.
Jade, he's pulling your chain. Don't feed it. Don't feed it. He's just pulling your chain.
You know how I am.
Jade,
See, you got to me all day, every day. I'll always take the bait. But that's all. That's all I got.
The trap said trap on it, and she still stuck her leg in it.
Right? Well said, Nomad.
All I want to say is, when Jared was talking about those trees, I had to think about Nell. Say, "Turn away, bicycle movie." The tree made me think of Nell.
Can I give some shout outs real quick to both Nihilus and to Mad Style? They both became soulmates, which means they subscribed and joined our channel as members. So they get the member perks for being on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. We appreciate that. We really, really do.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Also, I did like the cloudscape that they showed at the beginning of this segment. That was cool. Cloud. Next to spaceship, clouds are probably my favorite thing about the development of this project. I did like the liquid storage tank. I don't know why. I kind of want to start. If I would ever to make a homestead or something like that, I would want liquid storage tank decoration. So I thought that was cool. So what are your thoughts, Griffin?
Well, let me tell you something. It's not going to be decoration. You're going to need that because you're going to need water. And those props are going to be very functional. And we have to and CIG has not shown us that we will be manufacturing them, but we will be purchasing them in order to build our homestead. So the more we see those things, whether it's a generator, water tank, they showed the well that was there. What really got me, and I think all of you all caught it, did you all see the agriculture dynamic they were going with the greenhouses? So that's saying that, you're going to be growing stuff in areas that may not be hospitable or have an atmosphere, but those greenhouses are there. So they're kind of showing us another direction they're going with this whole thing. I don't know if they ever get into the level of farming, but many of us remember a couple of years ago when they showed us the space cows, and now we're seeing this stuff with agriculture. So we'll see what happens, where that goes. The Joshua trees were beautiful. It was their spin on a Joshua tree. If you guys have never seen one, look it up. But it definitely has its own distinct look, but you can see how it was influenced by that. The pyro stuff always looks good, and I agree with Jade 100%. There's a lot of stuff they're showing us that they're past, they're beyond. This isn't like they just made this stuff last week, so I'm pretty excited about what they are. Molman, thank you for becoming a soulmate as well.
Welcome,
Thank
Molman.
you. We appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Molman.
Yeah, there was just a lot of really good stuff in here, and we're just seeing them build out more and more with these locations. The hospital, I think, is gorgeous. I love the fact that they carried the theme from the business district over to the hospital with the statues, with the portraits of the Hurston family on the wall. It's like they can't get away from themselves no matter what. They got to talk about themselves no matter what. So I think that's a cool theme that they carried over into the hospital, and I can't wait to see it because it's a big facility. So ought to be pretty cool. That's about all I got on that.
I just want to say, Griffin, I completely forgot about the space cows. So when they do add hurricanes, it really will be like Twister.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We will see.
Oh goodness!
And also, to talk about the pyro being dirty, all I gotta say is Terra and Soul or Earth, they better be clean. They have to be clean compared to everything else, because they'll be like the financial capitals of their different respective solar systems. So yeah.
Oh, Fast Card, there's going to be some dirty places on Sol. They have to. It can't be nice all over. Yeah,
Earth and Lore has been completely run into the ground. So it's like Detroit, but with, a capital.
Terra's different. Terra would be the new hot for the Earth things. Earth is just going to be it's the trash heap that we go back to for for nostalgia's sake.
So what you're saying
it's
is
the birth of human.
So what you're saying is the trash heap that they keep out in the ocean by itself is going to be on land, basically. What you're saying?
Yeah, keep New York because it's a historical, location, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's nice. You have your visitors areas and your tourist spots.
The buildings, like the historic buildings.
Yes, they did. I think so.
Yeah. So, why would you have to wrap it if it's a nice place?
Right, right.
So what Marco Villa said, is Earth depleted of resources? Do they just wipe it out and they have to support it from outside systems?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because remember that was part, the whole thing was expansion,
Molman said old buildings cased in glass.
And Earth became overpopulated, and that's what kind of drove the well before the 30th century that we're in, when we're in Star Citizen, that happened. Because in lore, Chris Roberts' company did not start, but Robert Space Industries in the game did not start by making spaceships. It started by making water purifiers. It started by making, they did insect farming. So there wasn't enough food or fresh water on Earth in the late 21st century. So kind of too real, but anyway.
Too close to home.
Knock on wood.
Move on.
One last thing I want to touch on too, and I think you all hit on it a little bit more. Every time you think that they've got the planetary tech looking good, they make it better. The stuff they showed there in Pyro, the clouds, they just keep stepping up. I know Colossal was here earlier, and he's been hollering about clouds because he's been flying Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I keep telling him, don't worry, it's going to get there, and they're getting there. So I am curious to see once dynamic weather starts to step in more. That's the thing I really want to see, where we start to see weather change. And visually, it gives us an indication that a storm is coming, or whether it's going to be good, or whatever the case may be. So I'm excited to see that step in.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see some type of wave, so we know, okay, there's a wind. It's blowing at this velocity. It's going this direction, and then you look up and you see the clouds moving that way. That'll be really immersive.
Yep.
All right, now you're gonna make me drink. But before we do that, let's go to the machinima. So, Griffin, you want to tell us about the machinima?
Yeah, this is going to be a catch-up. We've been kind of behind because we had Black History Month and we watched a couple other machinimas. But this is part 2. You guys might remember the machinima that we watched. What's the name of it again, Fast Card? This one?
It is called Chronicles of Stanton.
The Chronicles of Stanton. If you guys remember, this is the one where the guy, he was toward the end of the film, the machinima, he was on a star fair and he was killing everybody. And then they found they thought he was the cook. Remember, they thought he was the cook, and then they found out that he was some high-level agent or something. And that's kind of like where it left off at. So this is picking up from there. Okay, and this was about maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months ago when we saw that. So I'm sorry I have to refresh memories. If you haven't watched Chronicles of Stanton Part 1, check it out. This is Part 2.
And also, I just want to tell people this is 12 minutes long, so you might want to get a snack or something. So, yeah, okay, so here we go. Chronicles of Stanton, Chapter 2.
Killed them all. Then I killed their friends, their leaders. But it was like pulling out weeds. Rip one out, another one grows in its place. It didn't really matter anyway. She was gone. The pain remained. Sometimes the old people will still say to me, Mary wouldn't want you to be like this. You should find yourself someone new, someone special. They don't understand. I already found her. Even her humble beginnings were somewhat special. Born in the airlock of one of the R&R space stations floating around out there in the meteor bands. Abandoned by her father before she could even qualify as a human. Abandoned by her mother in that very airlock about 3 minutes after being born. Picked up by a Banu merchantman in need of spare parts and the means to buy them. He sold her to a slave trader on Hurston. I know, right? And that's where I first met her.
Audio enhancement.
Welcome, Mr. Amaro.
I'm Carla, Manny's chemical expertise.
Where's Manny?
He got held up, so he sent me in his stead.
Just you, huh? You know,
It can be quite dangerous for a little girl like you to be out here all alone.
you're not scared?
Good day, Mr. Amaro. I hope you don't mind us doing business this way. As I'm sure my assistant has already told you, my presence has been required elsewhere today.
I don't like it when things change last minute, Manny. You should know this.
I assure you, it was unavoidable.
Fine. I go.
All clear.
Bring it in.
It's the real deal.
Great. I'll just transfer the credits.
Not so fast. I had a lot of extra expenses getting these boxes here. I'm afraid the price has gone up 15%.
No problem. In fact, to sweeten the deal and further strengthen our future cooperation together, I'll throw in a case of Hurston's finest. How about that? I'll also have Carla deliver it to your place, personally.
Funds received.
Sure. I could do with a little celebration tonight.
Great. Carla,
Yes, Manny.
I trust you'll take good care of Mr. Amaro.
Against the firepower of the arrow, there wasn't much I could do. I had no choice but to follow them back to Mr. Amaro's hideout. I had the footage I needed. Now I just needed to stomp the roach. I remember thinking the girl could be a complication. I'd have to try to keep her out of it. The tracker I put on the shuttle did its job well. Amaro's preferred hideout was an old abandoned mine, just half a click northeast of Lorville. All was quiet when I arrived. Dead. Single round to the head. Somebody beat me to it. The hoverbike at the entrance must belong to the other assailant. A proper Hurston bloodbath. The action was still hot. I needed to get in on it before it was all over. Damn. I wanted to kill him. I was beginning to lose my patience.
Hurston Advocacy, drop your weapons. Drop your weapon and come on out with your hands up. Do it now.
Okay, you got me, Chief.
Gotta hand it to you. You got some balls taking on the Lorville Mafia like this, all by yourself. What made you do it? Was it the 15%?
Actually, I'm just a driver. You should ask her.
Sorry about What's your price, bounty hunter?
Who are you?
Just the daughter of Hurston.
Who hired you?
Amaro did. In a way. But now we must go. Better luck next time. Give it to him.
Every day is a struggle. Every day is a trial. Every day is a failure. I have to walk another mile. I'll go wherever you go. As you make the bed, so you must lie.
The sun hurt. Everything hurt. I should have seen it coming. Running her face through the archives brought up a whole string of misunderstandings, misbehaviors, mishaps, missing persons. Nothing that really stuck. It seemed she'd worked her way up, all the way to the top of the food chain, all while evading prosecution. She was something else. There was no time to pity myself anymore. Now, I had purpose. A bounty to be caught instead of killed. And her name was Carla Slane.
No one knows where the life force flows. No one knows.
Okay, I think that's basically the end. Make sure there's nothing at the end. Yep, that looked like it. Alright, so let's go in order. So, Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
Oh my god, me first? I gotta take a notebook to talk about what I actually want to talk about. I got to what did I put? Love the something. I didn't even get to the third word yet. This was, I think, one of the best machinimas I think we've seen. Everything from, oh god, the storyline, like kind of like the surprise ending was pretty good. The fact that this was caught in 3 different patches of material, 3, 14, 15, and 16, I thought was really cool to see, like how much time and effort they put into making this and how much time it actually took to do, plus the editing and all that stuff. I love the fact that he put his hospital gown on the bed when he left the hospital room. Yeah, there's just so much to it. It was really cool. I would need you'd have to talk to me tomorrow to ask me how I really thought about it.
Alright, thank you. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Okay. So really cool cinematography. The effects, visual effects, and special effects, very cool. Some really nice things there with the viewer inside of the Moby glass, and he's talking to the other guy. I can't remember names. The man, the voice, the narration. That voice sounded so like right out of a trailer or something like that. He had a really cool voice. It's just that really good narrative voice. There were some slow parts in the dialogue, and I guess maybe it's probably slower because there's really no emotion in the faces aside from just the movements of the faces, but you can't really sense emotion in the character face yet. That's just a limitation of Foyt. So that's not an issue there. I heard a little Johnny Cash sound in there. Like some of the music, you had to kind of had a feel of Johnny Cash. And actually, like there are parts of it, like at the end with that really low voice, kind of reminded me of Natural Born Killers. You guys remember that movie? But there's like everybody knows, that whole very low kind of creepy kind of. It's if you've ever watched that movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But overall, very cool, really cool. They did a good job with this one. There was a lot to like about it. Very little to not like. I like at the end how she just said, hey. She was the kingpin of it all. It was like Gomab's 2-year-old. She was the one that started it. She's OG, man. It's like, don't think twice. That little girl over there will take you out. That's all I got, though.
All right, thank you. Face to face, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, it was excellent. It was good. Like you said, like DK said, great narration, great voice. Good cinematography. Only thing I will say is during the Brio's Breakyard scene, I would have wished they would have dropped out the music and just used the wind effect. Just use wind. Just use some, a little bit of drone-ish effect or so, and it would have done all right because the music started to get a little bit distracting. As far as what he did was, I will point out what he did with his panning and voicing. I was impressed when he did that scene, and that was one of the reasons why I was saying, to drop out the music at that point. But overall, it was good.
Okay, Gomab, what are your thoughts?
It was fantastic, man. That's great storytelling, great cinematography. Great framing of the scenes, the sound, like the voices were recorded very well. The music was good. They did really good. These machinimas just keep getting better and better.
Quickfire, dropping out, or do you saying good night to someone?
No, I'm getting ready to drop out. I gotta get up for work in the morning. Have a good night, guys.
Give it a thought real quick. We'll go out of order.
Honestly, my thoughts on this are really short and sweet. I'm honestly super excited when I see things like this, that for the future of what we can see both from CIG as possible in-game entertainment, such as soap operas or whatever type, and also the type of fan-made art that we're seeing right now.
Okay, cool. Have a good night.
Have a good night, buddy.
Thanks
for hanging out,
Yeah,
man.
Take care, Spitfire.
Good night, buddy.
Night.
Night.
Gomab, were you done? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right. Jade, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought, like, most of you've said, this is one of the better machinimas. I see this as really balanced. Like, there was nothing that stuck out at me as like, this is extremely better than the rest of it. So, the voice acting was amazing. Like DK said, he sounded like, trailer voice dude, or
World.
Right, exactly.
In a world, right.
Like there's that scene there where they superimposed two views, and they did really well. Like, it's hard to record stuff in Star Citizen, and they make it look easy. Every good machinima does that, but it's just so good to see how many people now are doing this and doing it really well. I thought their use of lighting for the faces was pretty good, because there's times when in the game they don't look that good, and they made sure they always looked good. So yeah, everything. The storytelling was good. There was a couple slow parts, but that's to be understood because of like the limitations of VoIP. Like basically everybody said what I was going to say, so that's about it.
All right, Pops, what are your thoughts?
Oh, it was great. The way they used the lighting, the shots. One of the things I really liked, though, that stood out to me was in the beginning, there was a sound in the way they had the sounds. I don't know if they put it in, but there was a metal on that, almost a rusty sound, and it was in the background, and it just drew my attention to it, and it just fit so well with it coming in. DK is right, Johnny Cash vibe for sure. It reminded me of Nomad going in on his bunker missions. So, yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not see that. I did not see that ending coming. I was surprised it got me, so I give them props for that. I'm sensing a theme tonight though. There was like a whole lot of Hurston stuff. Sort of the slave trading on Hurston. So yeah, she said oh, when the guy asked whether or not she was scared, they say I wasn't scared, but I am now. But yeah, she didn't say that. The lip syncing at the end was a bit off from the main character. I noticed that, but that's just a minor issue. That's more like a nitpick. I do want to ask, how did they get a black guy to actually look like a black guy? I can never get my character to look that good. What do you think, Griffin? What do you think, Griffin?
Yeah, when I watched this one in particular, I got the feelings in my head. The word storyboard popped up. I really felt like, because the way the shots were done, they were very thoughtful and well planned, very executed. That certain things, the shooting, like there's one part where there's a piece of metal and they just decide to shoot through the hole in the metal, the shot in the junkyard where the Avenger takes off, and it's normally we're used to seeing ships take off from the front, but they opted to be in the rear and watched it take off behind another ship. There seems to be a lot of storyboarding. I mean, to me, and it's just, if you've done film, and I know some of you all have, I just got a feeling the shots were really well plotted out. There's a lot of dolly moves in here, even though there's no dolly in the game, but there's the impression of dolly moves in here, not just panning. Just a lot of cool stuff that they did. I'm looking at this shot here now with the fact that they took advantage of the illumination inside the helmet when the guy gets shot. I mean, it seemed like they really thought these shots out really well. So I thought they did a good job. There's a definite, every time you see a chapter 2, chapter 3, I really look for, have they gotten better? Or are they doing the same thing they did before? Or do I feel like they've learned some things and they're getting better? And this one definitely, to me, felt like they're doing better.
Yeah, to your point, I don't really remember chapter 1, but this one, my impression of it, that chapter 2 is a lot better than chapter 1.
Hey, Fast Cart, real quick, was you were saying that you didn't know that she was going to do it. I knew exactly she was going to do it because he said, "Hey, you're going to take care of him." I knew exactly what when somebody says you're going to take care of them, you know they're probably going to either take you out.
Yeah, I knew
with the gunshot.
I thought she was going to do something else. So yeah.
Oh no! When he said you're going to take care of her, he's like, "Yeah, I'll take care of him." I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was two things. When he mentioned her being a problem, that gave it away. And also when he had her in the sight. When usually most 90% of the times in the beginning of a scene, if a person is aimed on someone in the downside and they don't take them out, that means they have an important part later on.
Oh, okay.
Remember that when you're pointing at me.
Point.
So that's why no one ever targets me and starts anything. Got it. I get taken out everywhere.
I want to touch base on Levski there because they did talk, and Jade, I don't know if you saw this, but they mentioned going from Levski, and when they said that, I was like, oh, I was kind of envisioning, because I've been on in a ballista on Levski and other things, and I was kind of figuring out if the landscape was going to look right. And to me, I think Levski, if I remember correctly, is a little bit greener. But I thought it was a really good representation of what the outside of, like, quote unquote a cave would look like. And then I like the fact that they used like a cave entrance, and then instead of using the regular you going through a cave, they actually went to a bunker, and then they used that for how you got downstairs. So I thought that was a really good, cut and paste and combining segments that are in the game and make it its own type of thing. I thought that was great.
Good use of set.
All right.
Okay.
Griffin, did you have to say, or did I skip you?
I did. I'm good.
Okay, good. All right, so I think that's it for this show, on our first show on YouTube. So thank everybody for coming on over from Twitch. We appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to Amma Kushnagi, Dark Knight, Fist to Face, Gomab, ATL, Jade, and Pottenface, and of course my co-host GriffinGamingRPG. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, thank you for making this a great first episode on YouTube. Also, I want to say our last Soul Citizen anniversary show. I meant to talk about this at the beginning of this show, but I had so much fun on Sunday's episode. It was great to have almost everybody there. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more chaotic because I had so many people, but it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for that and participating, or just watching it and being in Twitch chat. So thank you everybody for that.
Same here, Fast Cart.
Yeah.
Same here, man.
All right, so for
Had
our
a blast.
yes, I did. So for our next show, Soul Citizens on YouTube at 10 p.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. UTC. And you want to talk about Sunday's show, Griffin?
Yeah, we just want to remind everybody. I know there was some people who did come here and say, "What? You guys aren't on Twitch?" We just want to put out the reminder. This show is now officially a YouTube show. Twitch will only be our Sunday show. And this Sunday, as you can see, coming up, we've got a show called Critical Role. We've got special guests HC Vertigo. We've got the Nubifier, Space Tomato, and Toy Grubin, who are all going to be on talking about what it means to critique both Star Citizen as well as the community. So if you you want to beef about and be salty, this is the time to come sit in on this show this Sunday. But we really want to hear their thoughts because you guys know they're all very vocal about the development process, and we're going to talk about that. So this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully we'll see you then.
That is 1 a.m. Oh, wait, no, it's midnight because we changed our clock back on Sunday. So it'll be midnight UTC, not 1 a.m. UTC. So yeah, change the clock back on Sunday. Don't forget about that. Also, I want to say thank you. Just thank everybody. Follow us on social media. We're on Twitch. We're on Instagram.
Every social media platform. Just make it
Yeah,
easy.
all of them, right? We also sell merch. I don't know if we have the link in the description for merch.
It's not in here yet, but we'll put it in. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so we sell T-shirts, mugs, game pads, hats, long sleeve shirts. You name it, you can get it. Well, that's not true. That's just saying too much. But you can get almost a lot of things. Put it that way. So I think that's it. So I'll just see everybody see everybody Sunday. So I just want to say there's no raid. So I just want to say peace, love, and soul. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.
Good night.
Okay, I got to run. I'll be back in a bit.
I forgot to say hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. So I got that in at the end.